Hopefully you're not seeing the top of my head with all this gray hair. I to need to make this bigger. Hold on. Bear with me. Um, I'll explain this in a second. Let's just say the whole situation does not have me happy, so I will. Oh my gosh. Now let me bring this down. So, oh my gosh, that's too big. Hold on. All right, let me see who's here. Hey, Froggy. Hey, Sharon. Okay, guys, I am just like one big hot mess. Just literally a big hot mess. I gotta figure out what's going on because um, last Monday my vision just it's horrible now because I went to turn my laptop on to work and I don't have tiny monitors. It's the normal 100% size and I struggled with these to see what was on the screen. I'm having a hard time seeing what is on the screen standing here, and this is increased, I think, 100 and I think I increased it like 125 or 150. Just so like if I was standing here, I can see your comments, just like really clear. But it's what's weird about these readers is that I think these are like a 3.0. Is it magnification? Is that what it's called? And like I can stand here normally and I can look at my laptop over there and everything's fine. If I tried looking out at distance, the distance would be blurry. Well, now it's the complete opposite. So I literally, and I'm not going to show you guys because it just looks totally ridiculous. The only way I was able to work this past week and then do what I need to do for this is literally increase the size of the font and then wear two pairs of readers to be able to see words clearly. And so when I flip this, that's what I'm going to have to do so I can see all of your comments. It's one of these medicines that's doing it. I have to look it up because I was fine last Sunday. Last Sunday when I was with you guys, I was fine. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden on Monday morning, I went to turn my work laptop on and now I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I know that now, on top of everything else, now I'm going to make an appointment with an eye doctor to find out what's going on. And if it turns out that, I don't know, whichever medication that's causing it, it's got to go. It's got to go because I can't deal with this. Um, don't mind me. I'm still here, guys. I just have to get like really close to see because if I try making my thing any bigger, then half my video is like not showing. Um, let's see. Carol's here and Sharon's here and Froggy's here. Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Froggy. I'm gonna have to find out what's going on. What's going on? I'm gonna have to find out. Because I need these eyes. I can't be going blind. No. But the crazy thing is that if I put these on, okay, Normally, it would be a little hard driving because, like I was saying, that close up it's fine. However, distance would be a little bit blurry. Now it's the complete opposite. It's like I can look out this window and I can see these leaves, like, outside my window, clear as day, no issue. I can look across my room and everything's good. I'm looking at myself on here and everything's all blurry. So I'm not happy about this. I am trying. I'm trying to get by. And then, of course, work has pulled me every which way, has stressed me out. And yeah, so when I say I'm a hot mess, yeah, I'm a hot mess. I was supposed to, I think I may have mentioned this last weekend. So last Saturday, I told you all about I was helping my friend with the memorial. Didn't get much sleep. I mean, you probably could tell just by looking at me that I just looked exhausted. And so this weekend, yesterday, my pastor's son had gotten married. And then go to the wedding. Yvonne was here for a couple of days. And I got done with the card. So I was struggling. I got millions of well, not millions, but I got thousands of stamp sets here, and I couldn't figure out what to use to make the wedding card. And I know I shouldn't wait till the last minute either to get it done, but I utilized Canva, to use their colors and to make the card. And the card came out pretty good. I will say it came out really good. And I added some, because it was like, say, cherry cobbler, Knight of Navy, and gold. So I had some of that twisted metallic um, twine, thread, whatever you want to call it. I used that to tie around the card and added a bow. And then I used some of these adhesive things. These adhesive, oh, what are these things called? Adhesive back metallic gems that we currently have. So I used the gold ones on there. It came out really nice. Came out really nice. Well, it was like 10 to 1. Figured, okay, gonna go take a shower, get myself together, and hopefully I get there on time. Around that time, Yvonne was looking to go home. And dummy me, dummy me, forgot to disarm the alarm system before I ever got out of bed. So I think you know what I'm going to be saying next. Vaughn comes knocking on the bathroom door to say the alarm's going off. So it's like, okay, now I had to turn all the water off. I wrap myself in a towel. And I'm like, okay, bring me my phone. She brings me her phone. Then she brings me my phone. And when that thing goes off, it's loud. And I get like this. I get very anxious and very nervous when that thing goes off. And so got it disarmed. Then I was about ready to go jump back in the shower. Then my friend goes and calls me because the alarm system, when I originally got the alarm system, was when I was renting his house. And when the house was sold, then it's like, okay, I carried on the account and paying for it, but it's still in his name. So what they do, ADT went and called him, which then in return he called me. So by the time I was all said and done with my shower and getting dressed, there was 20 minutes left. And as I leave here and I'm on my way, stop signs, red lights, it got to the point that here I got all dressed, kind of dressed up, and then basically ended up deciding, okay, Just went to the post office, picked up my paper pumpkin, and came straight home because it would have been very awkward for me to be showing up, like as she's walking down the aisle. So I've just been, it hasn't been good. And trying to do my lives is is very is getting hard. Um hey Tracy, you're okay, hon. Continue prayers for your hubby. I saw your post on Facebook earlier. Um, yeah. Yeah, I've been, I don't, I don't know what I want to do, guys. I know that I need to get myself figured out. I do. Because work is pulling me every which way. I don't even get to work an 8-hour day. That's how I feel. Um, the company merged with another one in February, and, this whole leave of absence thing is a big hot mess, and every day I got to do stuff with it. And then there's other stuff I gotta, other things that I do as well. And so between just being exhausted and aggravated with that, and then trying to keep up with this stuff, I was talking to Yvonne, and which she's not even on here, is she? She probably forgot. But anyway, um, I don't know yet. There's still a whole nother week to this month left. And I don't know. I was thinking about taking maybe a break next month. Get all my video content caught up for this month, because basically all my Thursdays that haven't been done. My monthly Christmas card one didn't get done, and now I got paper pumpkin, so that one's not late. That I just got that kit yesterday. But I think I need to like get myself situated. I talked about the whole thing with my health, and then the medications and all that, and I know what I need to do to get off that stuff, because that's my plan, to get off that stuff. So between eating better and doing meal preps and exercising and all that stuff, yeah, I just gotta get myself, where I'm not such a hot mess. I just feel like I'm all over the place. So if I take a break, I really hope that you guys you'll come back. Um, I feel bad doing this because I was doing good, and then I don't know, ever since this month started, it's just been insane. And then now this happens, and I just want to go run and hide. That's kind of like how I feel. But I feel bad because I know you guys look forward to these lives. You love to, we got a sense of community here. All you guys are just, we all interact with each other. And so, um, but yeah, that's, you know, kind of like how I have been feeling these, at least this past week, even from like last weekend. And I know like this space that I'm in too, It desperately needs to be cleaned and organized because everything is just all over the place, and I feel like I'm being closed in. So I'm just like a bag of mixed emotions at the moment. And so let me see. Thank you, Froggy. And Sharon. You guys are amazing. I love you all. I definitely love you all. And I don't want to get like this. I really don't. I don't. But it is what it is, right? So we'll get through this. I'll get through this. Um, I just have to, I just have to, I think with, like the health part, and losing the weight and eating better, because, when I do these lives on Fridays and I end up going till like 9 o'clock at night, that I'm not eating dinner till like 9:30, and that's not good. I don't have the time to actually have dinner beforehand. So I have to figure out things that I can make, either have it in the freezer or whatever, and then that way I can make the time to eat before I go live. And I also have to stop doing so much of this and get through the video, because 2 hours is a long time. So yeah, so a lot of things that I want to look at and just kind of get myself back on track with everything, because like I said, right now I just feel like I'm just like all over the place. And then on top of everything else, let's throw this back in there. So over, do I want to say it was over a month ago, maybe 2 months ago? Well, let's see. Yeah, about 2 months ago. Um, the manager that I had said, you know what, you two, meaning Stephanie and myself, there's no reason for us to go into the office with what we do. We're kind of separated from payroll, even though we still kind of help payroll out, um, that we can work from home. And then they went and let her go at the beginning of this month. And so now it's like they're making this big stink about us, oh, being back in the office again. So now, starting June 1st, so not tomorrow, but next Monday, yeah, for Monday and Tuesday, I now have to get up at some ridiculous hour, um, and drive like 45 minutes away. So yeah, I'm not happy about that either. So I think the other thing that I got options here. Either I start looking for something right now, and then when I get something, give the 2 week notice, or do I wait until August? I think it's August 9th, which will then be my 10-year anniversary there. And then from at that point, if nothing really happens, which I doubt it's really going to happen, because the whole leave of absence process, what we do and what this other company does, is completely different. Um, the way we do our best to make sure that all the team members that are on leave are going to be paid correctly. The way they do it, it's just, it is what it is, and then they fix it on the back end, and that's not the way to do it. So, I don't, they say that we're going to be doing our own through the end of the year, but I can honestly tell you that with everything going on, I'm not sure I want to wait till the end of the year. And the one thing I have noticed so far, since we did this merger in February, and it seemed kind of quick that they went and they did this, uh, that those that are in HR on our side, I have seen people decide that they're going to retire. People like just leave, and then I've also seen other people get severance. So at some point, they're not going to keep us. At some point, they're going to just push us out. And as much as it'd be nice to get the severance, because the severance it'd probably be like 2 months worth of severance at least. I don't know if I want to stick around that long and just go through the extra added stress and aggravation and the wear and tear on my car, because here in Memphis, I'm sorry, but the highway that I have to take to get there, since I've lived here in 2012, has not been repaved, and I deal with potholes. And so I don't want damage to my car because I can't afford to buy a brand new car. And of course, then there's the price of gas. So, yeah, so things may be changing with that too, because it's not the same like it was before. Not at all. I mean, I love the two bosses I had before, and this last time it was. I'm not gonna say words because you never know who's gonna be watching, but yeah, it just has not been the same, and it's just been nothing but a lot of stress. A lot of stress I don't need and I don't want. So I'll end that there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another look, and then I'm going to flip this and then put on both of these, so then I can do this and I can actually read your comments without having to get right on top of the screen to see what you guys are saying. Um, let's see. Um, oh, I love you guys. Yeah, Crockpot is good. I also have an Instapot, which that thing is great. Um, yeah, Tracy, that's probably what I'll end up doing, because, I mean, come on, we're already at the end of May. So, yeah. Yeah, I hear you guys. I mean, yeah, to stick it out at least for the 10 years. Yeah, I can do that. Like I said, the way time's flying, that'll be like what, like next week. So, yeah. But on a positive note, I will say this. So, yes, God does answer prayers. So, I don't know if I made mention of this a while back, but so here at this apartment, I know that I have mentioned about the neighbors that are across from me and the ones that were diagonal from me. That the ones diagonal from me at one point just wanted to start nonsense with me for no reason other than I think they just wanted to. Well, they have long since left. Like, it's been a while. They're gone. This past, I want to say maybe Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I kind of wondered why it seemed so quiet. I didn't hear kids running through the breezeway. I didn't see kids messing with the water spigot on the side of the building that's across from me. Um, and then when after Yvonne got here, we went out to up to the store. And guys, those of you who had won a card from last Sunday, those cards went out on Thursday, so they're on their way to you. Um, but yeah, because I thought I was gonna go out, like I think that Monday or something, to go and get my medication. However, it wasn't ready. And another positive note about that one particular medication for 90 days worth was over $1,000. And there was a delay in getting it filled because I guess they didn't get the pre-authorization done, but it was, so it didn't cost me a penny. So that's a good thing, because let me tell you, if it were going to start charging me some crazy amount, then I'd be like, yeah, well, guess what? I'm not doing it. I think I would have just gone and said that, you know what, I'm just going to do this by diet and exercise to bring things down, because I'm not one for prescription medication at all. So, but anyway, so that was good on that part. But I noticed that on Thursday, I didn't hear the kids go tearing through the breezeway. It seemed awfully quiet. Um, Thursday, do I want to say that morning that I went to take, no, Friday morning, I went to take my garbage out, and somebody was over there. The door was open. I think it may have been a maintenance guy. And it was just like little piles of like clothes and junk or whatever. 'Cause it's the living room as soon as you open that door. And then it's like the night before when Yvonne was here and we went to go up to the store. I saw what they do here when they put somebody out. They take the stuff and they kind of put it in a parking spot, and that parking spot just happened to be right next to my car. So I mean, I don't know whose stuff it is, but I think that they may have put them out across from me, and I was here and I didn't even know that they left. Now I do something about them up there, because now school is out for the summer. I'm not going to listen to that kid. They need to give him something to do, take him someplace, go stay with grandma or something. I don't want to listen to it. That's another thing. That's a whole nother thing. So it's getting a little bit better in that aspect, but it needs to get a whole lot better. All right, I am not going to try squinting at my phone. Um, hey, Deborah. All right. Yeah, Froggy, that medication, it's Synjardy XR. This one has metformin, but then it also has this other medication that is supposed to protect your heart. So I got, so she prescribed to me a 3 month supply. So exactly that 3 month supply would be $1,138 and change if you have absolutely no insurance. Now, the website, the company that makes it, they got like, I don't know if I want to call it a prescription card. It just basically says you could pay up to $0 per month for it. So I mean, I that doesn't really tell me much, but I guess it's based on your insurance. But they did get it approved, and it did go through again, so it was billed, and the timing was good because the day before was my last one, and so I was able to get that the next afternoon. The problem is with this, I believe with this medication, is that you just can't stop taking it. I think once you've started, you got to kind of get weaned off of it. So, but yeah, I know that I just need to do what I can to just, the next time I go to see her in August, is that okay, things are good, let's do what we can, and we'll kind of take you off of that and take me off of the other stuff, the blood pressure medication and the cholesterol medication. Just get me off of it. Like I said, I don't like the side effects. I got to read up and find out which one, has a symptom where it messes with your eyesight. So, yeah, so that's what I got to find out. All right. Yeah. Oh, Avery's with us. Okay. All right. All right, so now, you know what, let me go ahead, as I said, let's not go for a 2-3 hour video. I don't think the projects are going to be too bad. The first one's a little putsy because I'm using my stamping positioner with it, but the other ones, we should do good with these. So let me go ahead, let me flip this. And then let me get my crazy little setup here to see what I am doing. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think tonight needs to be an early night. Actually, when I'm done here, I'm going to finish up the PDFs. I was working on it. Was it earlier in the week or last weekend? I was working on the PDFs from the last two lives that I did. And so I'm almost done with them. So I want to get those done. I want to get this done. The pictures for all the other cards I did, that's been taken and watermarked. Like I said, I just need to finish up the PDFs on them. Now this one, I think maybe you guys would have seen it, that I did get, what do you call it, the video thumbnail picture. I did get that done. So you see what the cards look like. So again, I just really need to get everything just caught up, and that's what I'm going to plan on doing before this month is out. Now let's see, next Friday is the 29th. I know I say this all the time, but I'm really going to aim to have stuff for that. And that one, I'm going to be using this bundle here, the balloon festoon, the one with the ginormous balloon dies to it. So definitely going to be some birthday theme cards for next Friday. So tomorrow I am off, and I'm really going to take advantage of having that day off, and I'm going to get up early, and I'm just going to try and do as much as I can to get caught up. And this week, it's that's coming up is not as bad as what it was this past week as far as me working these leave files. So I should have the energy by the time the work day is done. Um, oh, you just want the dies? Uh, let's see, that's the little lines for that. Yeah, actually, you don't. Well, maybe one of the dies cuts that out, but yeah, it looks like you can do a whole bunch of balloons, and you got your strings and all that. Yeah. Usually I like getting the birthday themed ones because you can always go for birthday, got birthday cards to make. So, all right. So really, really quick. So one of the things I don't have this printed out, but Stampin', if you're a demonstrator, they have opened up already the pre-order for what's coming out in July for the online exclusives. There's a little bit of fall in there, there's a little bit of Christmas in there, and there's this really gorgeous suite that has violets. And so that's opened up for demonstrators right now. Uh, let's see, I'm trying to think because I didn't print anything else out. I think that the May product of the month is Berry Botanical Vellum. This is still available. I don't think it's sold out yet. Uh, well, yeah, there's the vellum. I still have the vellum under my desk that I still didn't put back in its packaging. I gotta clean that. I got a mess in this room. I gotta clean it up. So this is still available. Again, it's with a $75 order, and that here in the US, that is, before, no, after you apply like any coupons or stamp and rewards and before the tax, and then you can choose this product and add it to your cart for $5. It's limited to one per customer. I believe that the one for April, which is this Eyelet Blooms die, this is still available. The other items have actually sold out, so these things are while supplies last. Till the end of May, there's a starter kit, a new starter kit offer, up till the 31st of May. If you get the starter kit, you have two different options. You can get the new 2026 to 2028 in color stamp pads. These are the ones that have the easy open magnetic case, and they're the firm felt as opposed to the firm foam on these ink pads. Now, if you don't want these ink pads, your other option is that you can get and you can choose an additional $35 of product in your starter kit. So here in the US, the price of the starter kit is $99 plus tax. The shipping is free on it. Let's see what else is in here. Um, Again, you get to choose 125 product, $125 in product in your kit, whatever it is that you want to add to it. And then again, if you don't want those ink pads, you can choose an additional $35 of product. They did change it up a little bit as far as like the business side of things that they include in your starter kit. They used to put in an old paper pumpkin kit, and they had stopped doing that. But what they are, they I was reading this the other day that what they're going to do is, I don't know if it's through email or something, that they're going to be actually sending like a coupon code or something to where you can redeem it on a paper pumpkin kit. So then that way you can see what the that whole subscription kit is all about. Uh, with this whole offer, again, I know you guys, you see me stress out about doing the whole business side of this, doing the videos, the classes, and, all that stuff. But you do not need to do that at all. If you just simply want to get a 20% discount, that's what it starts at, on your crafting supplies, then this is definitely a really good deal. Again, this goes until May 31st. There's a paper, so there's another craft class that's out there. Actually, this happened on May 21st. I haven't even gone in and looked and see what what they had done, but this class, it's primarily around the paper medley mix-in designer series paper. These are kind of like the patterns right here. So with this, they're creating projects where they're not only using this paper, but they're also using a couple of other designer series paper, and even these little oh, what are those things called? I think I have it. Yeah, I have it right here. Wow. Floral flight accents. So they're basically all black die cuts. I don't know if you can see that through the plastic. They're not very thin. Is there one sheet or two sheets? No, there's just one sheet. And you have butterflies, you have leaves, you have flowers in here. So they are using this in that class as well. So even though the class went live on May 21st, it is still available if you want to purchase it. I believe it's $25. It does not include any product. Basically, it gives you the access to the private Facebook group. Uh, as far as the videos and everything they did on this, it's available until like, well, till whenever really. They, you know, if you do a Facebook live or a Facebook video, what happens, Facebook does remove it after 30 days, but they do something to where it's there and you have access to it till like whenever. So that is still available. Then for those that are a demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Every year does a demonstrator only event called Creativity Now. Usually it happened in June, but this year it's going to happen on August 8th. The registration for this is from May 5th through the 26th. So on Tuesday will be the last day to register for this. And then from June 2nd to July 17th, the product that they are going to use for this event will be available for purchase. So there's a whole suite of product. There is some specialty 12 by 12 paper that it looks like there's white and very vanilla. Then there's 12 by 12 designer series paper, there's embellishments, and then there's also a stamp and die bundle as well. Uh, Last chance products, I think, let's see, this updated, when did this last update? January, March, April, May. I think this month, earlier this month, it updated. So then it won't be until I think in July that it'll update again with more products, and some of those products that are out there, you know, may be discounted even more. Paper pumpkin. More of this, I talk more about this when I go to do my paper pumpkin video, and so that should be coming at some point next week. So the subscription period for the June kit had opened up on May 11th. It is the Bikes and Blooms. You have some silver foil and silver embellishments. So basically, they look like our brushed grass butterflies, except they are like a silver foil. Then there's also the coordinating add-on dies that coordinate with the April, May, and June kits. You do need to be a paper pumpkin subscriber in order to purchase these. You don't need dies, you know, to complete any of the kits. These are just something that's additional if you want to do some alternative stuff. And then that's that. And I think that's all the info right now. Again, next Tuesday, wait a minute, what week are we? No, not this coming Tuesday, the Tuesday after. Um, yeah, there'll be more stuff that becomes, I think more stuff that I don't, guys, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Deborah's, she can't wait to see it. She's wondering if she needs that set or not. Yeah. Yeah, like I said the last time, I think Stampin' Up! Needs to start coming out with some ugly stuff. Then I don't have to buy anymore because it is getting crazy. It's getting to the point where I do need to start going through some of these older things that I have, and I do need to think about, you know, like selling some of this, because somewhere down the road, I don't know when yet, you know, when I go to move, guess who's got to move all this stuff? And yeah, I had a whole lot of stuff when I came in here, so I've accumulated more since then. All right, so let's get into our projects, and let me show you what it is that we are working with. So this is the Scenic Coast suite of product, and it features the Sunset Coast bundle. So some of these greetings here, uh, when I use this, you know, it seems like you're a little bit limited, you know, on the greetings in this set. So one of the cards that I did make, I did use a stamp from another set, so I'll show you that when we get to it. But it kind of covers like an anniversary, retirement, a congratulations, um, type of greetings in here, and then you got some stamps that you can do a little bit of building, so like your water, and then this is kind of like your reflection of the sun or the moon or whatever that you can put in the water there. You got this rock formation that you can add, your clouds, and then two little sailboats. And then on the dies, these dies are like amazing. Like this one here with the lighthouse, what it does is, so you got your piece of cardstock, and you know, you're going to see this in a little bit. And when you put the die on there, it's going to cut this stuff out. It's not going to actually, like, you know, you'll see. It just kind of cuts out like this little bit here to reveal, you know, your lighthouse. And then there's one for the sailboat. This one here where you kind of got your like sun rays, I didn't use that on any of the cards that I did, but you got some detailed seashells, you got like some netting here, and you got your seagulls. So it's a fun bundle. If you know me, you know that I love anything nautical, so it was definitely on my list. Now, the big showstopper with this suite is the designer series paper. So I'm going to pull out just one of the sheets that's in here just to kind of show you that with this paper, you have like this like painted design, but in here you can see that there's like some iridescent foiling in the water, so that is like so pretty. And I mean, like the sunset or the sunrise, it's very, very pretty. um Colors in here. Now this is a 2-pack that I've put in this bag. You got balmy blue, blueberry bushel, crushed curry, gorgeous grape, Highland heather, and strawberry slush. So we are definitely using paper. I am not hoarding paper anymore. I'm actually going to be using it. So so all of my cards do have designer series paper on it. Now one of the other papers that's part of this suite, and unfortunately I didn't get it into any of the projects that I made. This is the Sunset Shimmer Vellum. As you can see, it's 12 by 12. You have a sheet, what is it? There's 6 sheets in here, so you get 2 each. A balmy blue, barely blush, and iridescent. So let me just kind of pull. Now the paper, it does curl a bit, so there is the balmy blue. And it's the other side. The other side is almost like, I would describe it almost like it's vellum, like colored vellum. It doesn't have the shimmer on the back side of it, just on the one side. And then there's your barely blush color, and then there is your iridescent. So basically your what would be vellum with the shimmer on it. So that's part of the suite. And again, I didn't come up with something to use this on. And again, the projects were all being done today. So I did have some time. I had like a half an hour to spare by the time I got everything done. So then the embellishments, these are the Sunset Sparkle sequins. In here, I'm thinking that that is, what is that? Cajun Craze, Pumpkin Pie. And then these are just like an iridescent, so you kind of got like your bluish iridescent and then your pinkish iridescent. It's none of the colors, yeah, it's none of the colors that are in the paper, but some fun sequins. So you got 2 different sizes on your sequins. And that's it that's in the suite. All right, so let me move this out of the way. Let me bring in what we're doing for our first card. See, now that I got these 2 pair of glasses on, I can stand here and I can see everything that's in the chat box without making anything any bigger. So, yeah, so I got to figure out what's going on. I know it's not the end of the world, but it's just, you know, everything to me, honestly, I felt like everything was just fine until we started putting me on these medications. And like I said, I got to do what I got to do to get off of it. I will tell you that there was something that I did get, and I don't know why. It was just all of a sudden this thing was like coming up in my Facebook feed. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, that these vibration plates that basically you can either just stand on it, or you can do squats, or you can, there's bands and stuff that you can hook into, on the sides of these things. And there's different modes to it, and the thing vibrates. And so like everything on you starts like jiggling and all that. So I did get one of those, and I tried it out actually yesterday afternoon. It's interesting. But anything that I can do that's going to help me in losing this excess weight, I'm game for it. So guess what, guys? I was noticing, because I got my blind fully open over to the right of me, and it was starting to get a little darker out there. Well, now it's raining. We're kind of starting to get like a heavy rain, and it's hitting the window, so pretty darn cool if you ask me. Okay, to the card. My card base is basic white thick, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of that designer series paper. Pretty pretty. So this measures 5.5 by 4.25. So with these patterns of paper, either your sunset, sunrise, or whatever is typically like in the middle of the paper. So depending on the size that I want, I kind of like equally cut down from either side. So that way my image is still kind of like in the middle. So depending on what you're doing for your card, just kind of like trim it. If you want this to be in the center, just kind of trim it, evenly like on either side. Now, if you want more water, trim less down here and trim more up in the sky, or vice versa, depending on how much of either the water or the sky that you want. Again, 5.5 by 4.25. Then I have a piece of gorgeous grape. This measures, what is this? This is 4 and 5/8 by 3 and 3 Okay. And then I have a piece of basic white. This is 4.5 by 3.25. And then out of some of the designer series paper that I trimmed out, when I cut this down, there is a cloud die. So out of the excess piece from the top of this, I die cut my cloud. And then on the reverse side of this paper is the crushed curry. So then I had die cut, well, you're not going to see that. I die cut my sun. So there's a little round circle die in there that can be your sun, that can be your moon. And then ahead of time, I had stamped the larger of the 2 sailboats. I did this in strawberry slush, and then had die cut it. All right, so let's get this party started. And there's Yvonne. There's Yvonne. Okay. And so Yvonne, I made mention about what I was telling you about when it came to June. So I did make mention about that. And that my plan is that for this, well, I'm off tomorrow since it's Memorial Day. And so I'm going to really take advantage of having that whole day to get as much stuff caught up as I can. Um, oh, you were napping? You forgot to set the alarm? I figured you'd still be anxious from the alarm going off yesterday. Oh, yeah, by the way, Yvonne, guess where I didn't go yesterday? After all of that and got dressed, I left here with like 20 minutes to get there, and it got to the point between stop signs, red lights, and all that, that I wasn't going to get there in time. So I basically went to the post office and then turned around, came home, changed out of the clothes, and then just did what little bit of laundry I had and kind of chilled, try to figure out things that I was going to do, and yep. So I didn't even make it to the wedding. And I haven't even seen any pictures at all, like out on Facebook or anything. So, and they didn't live stream it either. So yeah, I ended up missing the whole thing. But I still have the card, so I guess, maybe next Sunday, because I didn't exactly make it to church this morning either. I figured I'd sleep in just a little bit. Okay, so the designer series paper, I put that on my card base. Inside, I'm going to stamp my greeting, and we'll get that done and out of the way. Move this. Do you guys hear my fan? Because I got my fan going right over next to me, and I just have my bouts where I start to get hot. Let me see. What am I doing? I want to stamp the inside of my card. So I hope it finds you happy. We're going to stamp wherever this note finds you. We're going to stamp that on our front panel here. All right. So excuse me. So I'm going to pull that out, and then I'm going to get a block, and I want my gorgeous grape ink. Yeah, I'm really like chilling down this apartment. I dropped the thermostat, my thermostat down to 68 for a little bit, just to really chill it out in here. Normally I keep it at 72, but I think what happens when I start to get like stressed out or whatever, or frustrated for some reason, that's when all of a sudden I start just, one of those power surges happens. So, yeah, so it's gonna be a little chilly in here, and I'm totally fine with that. I just gotta remember to put that thermostat back up. It's not like my AC, kicks on a lot. But, oh, there's Terry. You effing forgot. You're okay. You're okay. Just go back later on, go back and watch the beginning. There, I did talk about something, so yeah, watch the beginning. All right, so we got that part. So now we're going to work on this panel. And to do this panel, I can easily do this and maybe I will do this. Instead of bringing in my stamp positioning tool to do this, that maybe I'll just do it this way and get, what do you call it? And just kind of like stamp it by hand instead of using the stamp positioner, but you can use the stamp positioner too. Let's see, so there's this bigger piece here for the water. There's this little piece that kind of goes in the middle part there that does the reflection of either like the moon or the sun. Let's see, what else? We want this one. And I think that's it. And again, the larger of the two sailboats, I stamped that already in the strawberry slush ink, and I die cut that. All right, so let's get a block. Okay, now what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do this a little bit different. So when I did the sample card, I used my stamp positioner. So I'm going to take just a little bit of my seal and put that on the back. And I'm going to center this on my card base like so. Now the reason why I want to kind of stick this down is when I go to do this water image, you see the line here. Whoops, now that I just made that crooked. But the line right here where the water's kind of like meeting the sky, I'm going to kind of line up the top of this water image right here to kind of line up on either side. So like I said, again, I used my stamp positioner on this originally. The color of the water that I'm going to use is Blueberry Bushel. Before I stamp with this, what I am going to do, because I noticed with my sample, Blueberry Bushel can be pretty dark. So I'm going to push in some of this ink. And maybe it won't be as bold as my sample. All right, put that there. All right, so this I am going to have to kind of like stand over this. So hopefully you shouldn't see the top of my head because the height of the camera is in a place where, yeah, I'm not going to get my head underneath there. So I want to make sure that this is straight. Okay. And again, I'm kind of lining up. And let's see. Right there. Okay. And it's fine that it's not as, I'll show you the sample and you'll see like how bold that Blueberry Bushel was when I was done. I know, ink dries a little bit lighter, but Blueberry Bushel is definitely a darker blue. All right, so we got that. Now we have this this filler piece here. Let me get another block. This one, I'm going to stamp this in crushed curry because this is the designer series paper, and the yellow that's in this suite is crushed curry. So let me kind of press this ink in. Even though I already did this and I had this ink pad upside down, the ink still raises to the top pretty quickly. So make sure that, hi Don. Yep, Terry's boyfriend is blue. I don't know if Black is going to get jealous because I think she said that Black was her boyfriend too. So, all right. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stand right over it and look straight down. And then stamp that, and it kind of fills in that area in the middle of the water there. All right, and then let's see, he's making dinner. What's he making for dinner? Anything good? I will tell you that last night I had what was left over from this Mediterranean sheet pan meal that when Yvonne was here that we made for Friday dinner. Oh my gosh, it came out so good, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to make again. All right, so now my greeting that says wherever this note finds you, ... I am going to stamp that in Gorgeous Grape. And let me kind of press this ink in too because this one was pretty dark. Ooh, spaghetti. That was a thought that I was going to do spaghetti. I don't know when. I know I got plenty of salad in there and I got to really eat that before it goes bad. All right. Something's on there. I don't know. Okay. Then I'll ink this up. And then I'm going to stamp this right up here. Like so. Okay, so that's all of the stamping for this one. Remove that out of the way. We'll take this off and I will go and add some more adhesive to the back of this. And we'll put this on our Gorgeous Grape layer. So, okay, and then I'm going to take my die cut pieces here. So my little sun and my, this would have been really cool to have it in this direction too. Kind of neat, I like that. Let me get my silicone craft sheet and let me get my seal. Add some to the back of my cloud. Add a little bit to the back of my sun. And then I'm going to take my cloud image and I'm going to place this right along the top of the water. And then my little sun here, I'm going to poke. I'm going to try and do this. Untuck this back behind my cloud. Like so. So kind of lining it up with what I stamped in the water. So we got that. And then for my little sailboat, I'm going to get a little dimensional, one of my mini ones. And we'll put that on there like so. First, what I want to do is I'm going to take this whole thing and I'm going to pop this up onto my card. So we don't want this to be saggy. So I'm going to put a few extra on here. The one thing that I have found with this, if you are putting dimensionals like on this area here where it's kind of got that iridescent foil, I have found that for some reason that the dimensional came off. Like for some reason, it's like the sticky part. I would think either there's no sticky on the dimensional or the paper took the sticky part, but when you touch it, it's not sticky. It's really weird. I've had to replace a dimensional because it, for some reason, it just didn't stick on there. All right, so now I'm going to center this, and we're going to kind of take our water here and kind of line it up like so. So it should all be straight. Okay, press that down, and then we'll take our sailboat and we'll add that right over here like so. And then we're going to bring in the sequins, and then on this one I'm going to add one of these pumpkin pie colored ones right here, and then I'm going to use all the larger size on these, and then our pink one kind of like up here. Okay, so there is the first one. So this one I really wanted to use the stamps to kind of like build my scene. So I've seen samples of this where they actually stamp the cloud, and then they also stamp that sun as well. But yeah, I don't know. I just decided to go with using the designer series paper. So wherever this note finds you, I hope it finds you happy. Okay, and let me show you the sample one. Now this is where I did not stamp off on that blueberry bushel, and you can see really how dark that really came out. And actually it like over stamped a little bit when I had inked it up, but I kind of like how it looks with it stamped off a little bit better, because for some reason, I don't know, it just seemed like it was too dark. Okay, so there is the first card. Second card. And this one goes together, whoops, this one goes together pretty quick. Okay. Get rid of this. All right, so, oh, get off there. Oh, you know what? Before we go anywhere, or any further, let me clean these off really quick, so that way we don't get ink all over everything. Okay, there's no stamp on that one. All right, so my card base is basic black. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic white that's 5 1/4 by 4. This is for the inside of my card. I have another design of that paper. So again, cutting this down to where you're able to see kind of like the middle section where you have that really nice iridescent reflection in the water. So this is cut down to 5 1/4 by 4. Then this piece here, the piece of basic black, this measures, this is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4, and then the die, let me show you the die. Again, it only cuts out kind of like the image. It doesn't, like here, like all this open area here, it removes that, and then part of like the waves underneath it, And so this is like all, so you just basically cut it out of your panel. And so again, that's the sailboat. And we're going to put that kind of like over our paper like so. Then from trimming down this paper, down here, this water section right here, I think it goes this way. This is just what's left over, and this is a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. We're going to put that inside the card. I have a scrap piece of Highland Heather cardstock, and then when I die cut my sailboat, this open area right here, I also die cut 3 of these seagulls. So this is all one die that die cuts these 3. And yeah, so that's all my pieces. So let's go ahead and fold and burnish this. Okay, and then we're going to take, for our inside, we're going to take our designer series paper. We'll add some glue to the bottom, or underneath it actually. And then this is going to go along the bottom of my cardstock. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to take my foam pad right here. I'm going to take 2 of my seagulls. So this one's going to be for the front. Let me get my tweezers. And now we can do the whole glue thing with the silicone mat, but I'm just going to add just a little bit on here, and then we'll add this one, and then the little small one. Take him and then add this one right here. Okay, and then for the inside, we're going to use a different stamp set that's just for, that has greetings and stuff in it for this particular card. So this one is Prayers and Promises. This is Carol Nordquist's $1 Million Sales Achiever stamp set. So in here you got Sending Love, I'm Here for You, Give It to God, So Sorry for Your Loss, Peace I Leave with You, My Peace I Give unto You, John 14:27. Praying that the Lord's promises will bring you hope and comfort in the days ahead. He cares for you always. May you feel God's care and healing as you recover. Keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. And as you grieve, may your memories comfort you, your faith strengthen you, and may hope heal your heart. So for this particular card, I am going to use Give It to God, He Cares for You, and Always. And again, it's just a standalone stamp set. There's no dies or anything that go to this. So I want Give It to God. He Cares for You, and Always. All right, let's get some blocks here. These stamps like to stick to my fingers. Okay. All right, so in here, we're going to stamp. He cares for you. We're going to stamp that in black. So my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And then the Always, I'm going to stamp that in Highland Heather. All right, so he cares for you. Let's get black. Yep, it was raining pretty good here a moment ago. I don't know. It's probably still raining. I just don't hear it hitting the window now. All right. So the He Cares for You. We'll stamp that right here in the middle. And then Always. Right here. We're going to leave that black out because I got to stamp one more thing. Okay, so there's the inside of our card. Then on my scrap strip of Highland Heather, I want to stamp Give It to God. And I want to stamp that right there. And then I'm going to bring in the 3 banner punch. Kind of move that out of the way. And then this one right here with the kind of like the arrow, we're going to punch that out. I'm going to line that up, getting it straight. Okay. Let's move that. Let's bring in our card. So this I'm going to put inside. I don't know why my cellophane on this wants to keep coming off the roller. All right, so our card is going to be a landscape card. So we're going to put this in here, like so. And then on the front, we're going to add our designer series paper. Okay, put it on our card base. All right, and then our silhouette panel in our black, we're going to pop this up. So let me get, for this one I'm going to use my black dimensional, so I have both the regular ones and the mini ones. And so I'll add well, Vaughn, it all depends on which direction it was going. As depending if whether or not it went from where I am to where you are. All right. So we want to make sure everything is going to kind of stay in place. And nothing is going to go anywhere. I think we should be good there. And then I'm going to take a little one. I'm going to add one right down here to the bottom of our sailboat. Okay. Then we're going to take this and we're going to center this like so. Then my other seagull, we get my tweezers. And we'll add a little bit of glue to him. All right, and then we're going to place our seagull right there. Okay, and then on my little greeting here, I'm going to add, let's see, get regular dimensionals, our white ones. And I'm going to add two right there. Okay, you're supposed to go in the garbage can, not jump back. And then we're going to place this right here. Make sure I got that straight. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the sequins. And I'm going to use kind of like our purplish iridescent. And I'll put one of those larger ones here, and then these smaller of the pink ones I want to place up here. That's not where I want you to go. Go right there. Okay. There is the second. So just that one detailed die, you can put together a card pretty quickly. So give it to God. He cares for you always. And again, a little just the excess paper that I trimmed of the water portion that has some of that iridescent foiling in there. So there is our second card. All right, our third one. So my third card is probably going to look a little familiar. If you remember, not all too long ago, I think was Terry still here, or just after Terry had left, I had a picture on my phone of the card that I made for her. So this was the suite of product that I had used to make her card. It's a case that's out of the catalog. I did, of course, change hers up a little bit, you know, to reflect as a birthday card. The happy birthday greeting that I used came out of the, what is it, the stamp set that went with the, what do you call it, the Lily of the Valley. And let me just quickly put these back so then that way they're not all mixed up with, oops, where's this one go? This one goes here. And then there's always. But this card that I'm making, basically it's a case of what's in the catalog and also what I made for Terry. But again, it is changed up just ever so slightly. I used a totally different grading on it. Okay, so now we're going to play with Terry's boyfriends. So bring in all the bits and pieces. All right, card base is Knight of Navy, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic white for the inside that is 5 1/4 by 4. I have a piece of the designer series paper, again, kind of trimmed it down so that way you would see your sun and then your reflection down here. So this measures, this is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then another piece of the designer series paper. It was hard to cut into this because this is like a really pretty um, image in the paper, so really like vibrant in color. So this measures, this one measures 5 by 3 3/4. I had used the Lighthouse die to die cut this out. Now, to kind of line this up so that way you get your lighthouse not, you know, standing straight and not leaning. So the way that I die cut it, I put the die over this and I kind of made, I just really looked at the windows and the opening here on the railing, and if I had that straight, then I knew my image was going to die cut straight. So I had die cut that, and then I heat embossed using the Versamark and the white embossing folder, not embossing powder, not folder. And I stamped the adventure continues in this bottom corner. Now, when I did the happy birthday, it was right here in the middle. In the catalog, they used a different greeting and they kind of like centered that, but I decided because this was more condensed than the other ones, that I decided to put it in the corner. So this is going to lay right over that other print. So you're going to see the sunset and you're going to see your reflection in the water when we go to put that over the top of it. From when I trimmed this paper, this is what was left. So on this piece, I'm going to put this on the inside on the bottom of my cardstock. And then out of the paper, so what was left from what I had cut, what I trimmed down. How does that happen? Like, how? Oh, I don't know. All right. So what was left out of the designer series paper, I had die cut 2 of the clouds, and these clouds were going to kind of like offset from each other, so we're going to have some like detailing of clouds to put on our card. And then there are 2, it's one die, but it'll cut out 2 of the fence pieces, and this is out of Night of Navy. All right, so let's fold and burnish. Okay. Let's see. So this one's going to be an anniversary card. So for my inside, I'm going to kind of do my stamping and kind of put this together and put this inside my card. All right, so I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to add some to the bottom. And hopefully I didn't go too high up. Move that. And I'm going to line this up like so. Good, I didn't go too high up. All right. And then, instead of using scissors to cut this, I am going to use my paper trimmer. Again, I'm going to bring the arm down a little bit and kind of butt the edge of my cardstock there. And then just trim the excess, and there we go. All right. Let's bring our foam sheet in. And then I want my Night of Navy ink pad. And then for this one, like I said, this one's going to be an anniversary card. So the stamp set does have happy anniversary. Book. And we're going to stamp that right down here on the bottom, just above our designer series paper. Quickly clean that. All right, so now let's go ahead and assemble this. All right, so this is going to go on the inside. Okay. Now, the paper that has the sunset in it, we're going to adhere this down to our card base. So we're going to center this. And then it's sized a little bit smaller than the piece that I had die cut. So it'll fit over this perfectly. So I'm going to center this like so. And then our die cut piece that we embossed, we're going to get some dimensionals. All right, this one there. Just fits. Let's see, let's get one here and here. And let's see, I think the rest I need to use my small ones. I'll add one there. One right there. And let's see, now I have to cut up some of these little ones, because now my spaces that I have are very small. That one's just a little too big. So I'll put that one right there. Okay. See, put one right there. And I think this one, we should be good with this one. Let's see. All right. Now, Again, because this has that foiling on, I want to make sure that this is all pressed down and they're stuck. See, it comes right off, but I don't feel the sticky, and then this really isn't sticky anymore. So whatever that coating is that's on the paper. One more. Okay, now let's get another. Put that down. Okay, now we will take this and I realized that I should have put the fence pieces on first, but it won't be a biggie. Okay, so now we'll put that over that so you can see everything's kind of placed in a good spot. All right, so then on these fence pieces, so the larger part is going to kind of come in more into the center. And so these are going to go on either side like so. All right, so then I'm going to get my tweezers again. And I'm just going to put it right there in that little spot that we are not going to be putting glue on. And again, you can use the silicone. Oops, too much. All right, and then I'll place that right here. Okay, and then do the same over here. Thank you, Froggy. You know, I think the other thing too is if the suite or the, you know, or the, let me just say the product, because it could be a stamp set, it could be a bundle. If it is like a nautical theme, you know, something that just, I mean, I don't know, if it's really something that I'm really, the ideas come very easy. However, I can't take full credit out of this one because this one, like I said, this is a case out of the catalog. All right, so I'm going to place this one right over here. All right, now, oh no, there's not just one more step. There's two steps. So our clouds. Okay, and actually, the background, as a matter of fact, the background that image that I used for Terry's card was, hold on, that I used for hers was this one. It was this one that I used on hers. So yeah, any of these backgrounds are going to work with this. Okay, so on my clouds, again, out of just the scrap pieces from the designer series paper, I die cut two. And then I'm going to kind of offset my two clouds like so. Turn it around. I'm going to get dimensional. Kind of like hold them together. I'm going to put two kind of like close to each other, and then on this side I'm going to add some seal because that's going to kind of stick over on this side here. And there's no twine, no linen thread, no ribbons on this at all. We're just going with the embellishments. All right, now we're down to our last part. So now I'm going to use this darker one. I'll place that there. And then let's see, one of our orange ones, we'll put that there. And then let's see, one of these, we'll place that one right up there. Okay, there we go. There is the third card. The adventure continues. Happy anniversary. So there's our third one. All right, so let me get this stuff all out of the way. This is your opportunity. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and add your name to the spreadsheet. If there's anybody on here that's new, the link for that is pinned up at the top of the chat box. If you have any issues at all trying to access it, please say something in the chat box, and somebody would be more than happy to go ahead and add your name. Just want to make some room up here. And let me get things kind of put away here. I'll stick my stamps in on the side of my little plastic shoe box here. And then just put everything away when I'm all done. Yvonne does not want to be added tonight. Okay. Let me do this. Let me bring in the other cards, actually. Should have done that before. Okay, so again, this was our third card. This, again, let me get something. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So on this card, like I said, it's a case out of it. Now in the catalog, you have the main page that has like the whole suite of product. But if you like skim, like, okay, here's where the bundles start. If you look under the bundles, you'll see yet another sample. And then if you go a little bit further back to where it's just the stamp sets, if you look under the stamp sets, okay, where are you at? You'll see yet another sample as well. So there's a few samples other than on this page. So this is the one that I cased. So this one's saying wishing you a lifetime of joy. They did move this up a little bit higher, but still looks good. Still looks good. Now I will show you again. Uh, do, 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 do. Um, Here is the card that I made for Terry. So I used a different background, and then I actually added some of these seagulls on hers and the sequins as well. So basically I did this card two different ways from how the sample is in the catalog. All right. So again, the only thing I didn't use was that Sunset Sheer Shimmer Vellum. All right, so that was our third card. Our second card, again, using the other silhouette die with the sailboat. So just kind of kept that with the black with the pop of color. Give it to God. He cares for you always. Again, leftover strips of the designer series paper, using that on the inside of the card. And then the first one, we used the stamp set to kind of build our water image. This reminds me of another stamp set that we had a few years ago where you kind of did the same thing. You did your water and then you had like a filler part for it. So there is our first card. Again, you can see I used designer series paper on every one of them. I didn't hoard the paper, but then again, you know, I do have 2 packs of that paper at the moment. If it goes away, I can't say if whether or not I'm going to buy another pack of paper, but we'll see. I think you get like 8 sheets of each of the designs. So let me move this out of the way. Let me bring in my stack of little sticky notes here with everybody's name. Is Yvonne leaving already? Dinner is ready, everyone. I'm signing off. Everyone have a great week. You too. Okay, so let's see what we have here on the spreadsheet. Okay, so we got Froggy, Sharon, Deborah, Carol, Terry, and Tracy. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold, please. Let's add it to those. Oops, no. Okay. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else who would be like to be added? Again, we got Froggy, Sharon, Deborah, Carol, Terry, and Tracy. Just want to make sure before I add the names to the wheel. Okay, I think we got everybody. Okay, so let me move the lights out of the way. Kind of push those up a little bit. Let's unplug. Let's bring it in. Okay. And I bet already added everybody's name into the wheel. So let's give it a spin. Sharon. Which card would you like? This one, and this one. Number 3. Okay. How's that? Okay. I can't see my thing for the wheel. Okay. Sorry. Which one would you like, Terry? Would you like card number 1 or card number 2? Oh, dear Lord, I just realized why this went dark. Just realized why it went dark. Because I'm down to 30% remain. I didn't plug my laptop in. Which card would you like, Terry? Would you like the first one or the second one? Number 1. Okay. I'm wondering why this all of a sudden went dark, and it's because, yeah, I'm down to 30% on the battery. Okay, so our final card goes to Carol. Okay. All right, so let me kind of move this out of the way and let me kind of wrap up. Now I'll let you get to the rest of your Sundays. So everybody, thank you so much for bearing with me. I know Terry, you kind of came in a little bit late, so kind of like watch the beginning. I kind of talked about, things that were, things I've been kind of going through, like especially from this past week. Um, I did make mention that I'm probably going to take a break on doing videos for the month of June. I am going to come back. I just need to get, some things situated because, things have just kind of been, just a nightmare. I really need to kind of get myself on track as far as, like with my health and everything else. And, um, yeah, because I've just been postponing, my lives from Fridays until Saturdays and now to Sundays. But what I'm going to do is throughout like this week, other than what I'm going to do for this Friday, which is going to be, what do you call it? My Friday Night Live, which is going to be the balloon festoon. That's going to be like next Friday. But what I'm going to do that during this week is I'm going to get caught up on all those other videos, those other Throwback Thursdays, the monthly Christmas card inspiration, and even my paper pumpkin kit. Try and get those all done this coming week and get what other, the Thursday and Friday taken care of. So at least that's all caught up. And then, yeah, I think in June I'm just going to take like a break for that month, just kind of get things situated, with like meal prep and the whole thing with the job and all of that. Because it's just I don't know, I just feel like very drained right now. The other thing too is that, oh yeah, if you like the projects, please give the video thumbs up. Um, and let's see what else. Again, everything for the description will be there at some point tonight, since now I'm done a little bit earlier. I'm going to take care of that tonight. I'm going to take care of the PDFs for both the last two, finish those up, get this one created. Just really, everything's going to be about getting caught up between tonight and tomorrow and the rest of the week. So I thank you so much, everyone, for kind of like, being an ear for me. I appreciate it, and I thank you so much for the love and the support. Again, yeah, I just have to, get things situated to where I can really focus and get back on track like I did before. So yes, tomorrow is Memorial Day here in the U.S. So a lot of us are off tomorrow. So we are remembering our fallen servicemen and women. So uh, so with that, everybody, have a wonderful week. I don't know, we're supposed to have storms tomorrow and Tuesday, so actually I can go for a good storm. I know Froggy gonna be keeping an eye on all that. She's a weather nerd like I am. And so yeah, so everyone stay safe, stay cool or stay warm no matter where it is that you're at. And I will see you next week. Have a blessed one, everyone. Bye bye.